never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
The past is gone. Now's the future.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Weekly Review. My name is Mike Larkin, joined as always by my boys, the dead man of RWT, Paul Morales, and DC Daniel Crimmins. Y'all, we are going to be talking about some Triple Mania that just went off the air on WWE's YouTube page. They will be back in September in Las Vegas, Nevada for another When Worlds Collide, which actually will be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific for this guy over here. So another late Friday night right after Smack It Down. And you all can tune into some AAA, which we'll get into more of that when we get to that portion of the show. But I figured we start the show because a lot happened this week with Karrion Kross, and we'll play some clips from the Ariel Helwani show. But before we get to that, we got to start off with someone whose clips we played many a times on this show, and one of Paul's favorites in the world of podcasting. No, not him. No, we're not him. Not him. Not him today. No, thank God, no him. Not Dave Meltzer. Not Uncle Dave. But that boy Bully Ray, he was on Busted Open Radio, and he said some things. And we're going to get into those things. I can see that finger already going up, Mr. Daniel Crimmins. So on the latest edition of Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray believes fans would like to see Vince McMahon make an appearance for John Cena's WWE retirement. And here is what Bully Ray had to say. Yay.
Cena's last match will be in Boston, or his last appearance will be in Boston. People are going to be crying their eyes out for John's retirement. It's going to be a very emotional night. People will be very, very happy, tears of joy, a little bit of sadness. And Vince is the guy that gave John his opportunity. Stephanie is the one who truly gave John his opportunity because she heard him rapping in the back of the tour bus. John and Vince have remained friends through everything. If Vince were to come out in that moment to give John his final farewell, I think the people would like to see that or would embrace it because it's Vince McMahon's WWE that John Cena was the face of for the longest time. He was the face of Ruthless Aggression, biggest baby face in the company during Vince McMahon's time. I think they could ride that wave.
No. Absolutely no.
Shut the fuck up, Bully.
No. just no. I'll let Paul go first on this one. Paul, go ahead.
I'm going to say this will probably be the first time that I actually disagree with him.
Okay.
And this is being real because
right.
I understand Vince's. I understand his viewpoint. I really truly do. But at the same time, as much as a lot of people may want to see Vince, there are a lot of people who do not want to see Vince. We already have Brock Lesnar coming back, and he's still that issue is still going. I don't think by December any of that's going to be going away. So far be it for us to sit here and say, hey, guess what? That he shouldn't be there or he doesn't deserve to be there. He does, but under the circumstances, I don't want to see him, a physical presence of him there. Now, give me a vignette, give me a video of him saying all the nice things about John. Cool, fine and dandy. But I don't want him physically there. If he was backstage and he doesn't come out and nobody has to see him, okay, fine. But in front of the camera, a live audience, nope. Not me.
Daniel, I'll let you take this one and I'll go last. Go ahead.
So I've seen the argument. Well, Brock's back. Why not? Because it's different. Vince is accused of some really fucked up shit. And things that we've suspected for a number of years. Having said that, Brock is just I'm not going to say innocent bystander because no. Do I think Brock's just a byproduct of all this? Yeah. But who is the instigator here? Vince. Let's talk about public relations. If they brought Vince out on TV, it would be a PR nightmare. You have to worry about sponsors. You have to worry about other talent who just would not be cool with it. We already have other talent who refuse to come out for Hulk Hogan's thing.
Like Rhea Ripley and the New Day.
Among others. I think if it had been a situation where Vince had where none of this, had happened and Vince had just retired, like a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
If that had been the case and Vince had just retired, I would say absolutely. If Vince had just, said, hey, it's time for me to spend the remainder of my years with my family. I'm going to step back. If that had been the case, I would say, sure, fine. But I cannot imagine the PR nightmare from bringing him back, even if it's just for one night. Brock, as much as I think he's a part of this, it's different. You may not agree with what I'm saying, folks, but it is different. What Brock did and what Vince did, I say no. Yeah, I can't see them doing it.
I think for me with Brock, it's morally and ethically. I think what he did was wrong. I think playing into that and talking to Janelle Grant as he did in those text messages with Vince. And I mean, they cleared him legally because it's like, look, he didn't do anything. Vince and John actually did the deed, that being laryngitis, but Brock he said what he said. Morally, I think he's a piece of shit, but legally they cleared him. They didn't feel like he had a lot of jeopardy within the case. So he's back to do the stuff with John Cena, which we'll get into that in a second, but it is what it is. I think
I have one more thing that kind of popped into my head. I'm sorry to cut you off,
Yeah,
but one other thing that popped into my head was like, we'll say the Fabulous Moolah. Everything that came out about her, everything that came out that she did to other female talent throughout the years, of things. That's why they had the Women's Royal Rumble or the Women's Battle Royal.
Yeah.
It was originally under her name. Then all of a sudden, all this scrutiny came out, and all these people came forward, and all this information about how bad she used to treat a lot of the women and the things that she made them do. It's kind of coincides with the same thing Vince did. Yeah, it's a little bit harsher. Yes, I understand that part, but from the same aspect, it's still tainting their own life or tainting their own legacy. So in my view, no, I don't want him physically there. I don't want him physically in front of the camera. Like I said, if he's in backstage, and he comes out like after the camera stopped rolling, they continue on, like on YouTube or just in front of the audience that's there. Okay, fine and dandy. But in front of the camera, I'd much rather have a video vignette or a video from him saying how much he liked John, how much he loved, his career, blah, 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 so on and so forth.
I know I'm right there with you. I feel the exact same way. And don't apologize for cutting me off, man. I think you make a great point. It's one of those things off camera. Yes. On camera. No, we don't need to see his mug, which then brings me also to, like Daniel mentioned, I caught glimpses of the TMZ stuff. And I mean, him pretty much saying that Hulk Hogan may have said some racist things, but he's not racist. I was pissed that I wasn't at the Hulk Hogan at the Netflix thing and getting to see that what they did with Hulk Hogan. They could have done more with him and derp. And I'm like, God, it just made me shake my head just at everything that he was saying. And I'm like, what he went out there and he promoted Netflix. What else do you want for Hulk Hogan? You know what I'm saying? How they treated him.
Insert Charlie Murphy, Rick James Chappelle Show episode right here.
Exactly. But no, it's just, I don't understand it. Like I'm saying, I don't know what in his mind thinks, like, what they did with Hulk Hogan, the creative of how him going out there on Netflix was bad. Like, and also Jimmy Hart had mentioned on the show that it hurt Hulk Hogan that they booed him. And I'm like,
You
All
know,
right, I'm going to mention it, but it's like, you know, they don't view him as Hulkamania. They view him as the guy at friggin' the Republican National Convention ripping his shirt off, talking about Trumpomania. So, go ahead.
the thing of that is, and I think it needs to be said,
Right.
there are some markets where the fans are going to be more vocal. You think of markets like New York, Chicago, LA, where the fans are going to be more rabid. Paul, you were there, so like, you had to know that the LA crowd was not going to be kind to Hulkamania. And just as an aside, how ironic is it that the storylines are always people wanting to kill Hulkamania, and the one that did it was Hulk Hogan himself.
It's I can honestly say, from as a wrestling fan, my view was not a political one. Yes, I do not like his stances. I did not like his stance from that aspect. Yes, I did not like it. That's Terry Bollea supporting Donald Trump. That's not Hulk Hogan. Yes, he's using his name. He owns it, whatever. But same time, that's Terry Bollea supporting Donald Trump, performing as Hulk Hogan. We all know the things that he did. Yes, we know the racist stuff. We know the wrestlers that he held down. As wrestling fans, we know these things. I know a lot of those people that were there. Yes, some of it was political, but a lot of people who were sitting around me also said the exact same thing. He's a racist. Look at what he did to other wrestlers. Look at the things that he did. A conversation after he walked out. After everything was said and done, dude, we were having conversations with people around us. And even my wife asked me, hey, why is everybody booing him? I know I know a lot of it's political because of, you know who. I don't want to keep saying his name, but
that guy.
I had to tell her, I said, yeah, but also he's a racist and he's said it. And the thing that he's done to other wrestlers throughout the years. So that's just my view.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure a lot of other people, my brothers right here, know the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the spiritual route, he didn't repent his sins. He didn't do anything to do better about, not being a racist. He continued saying the crap that he said, which also brings us to this next point. And here was Mark Henry's comment. Mark Henry said it perfectly. So here's what Mark Henry said on TMZ's The Real Hulk Hogan. He said in his words that he was a racist. Why would I sit here and try to defend somebody that tells you who they were? It hurt. It hurt. I grew up watching the dude. I used to love that dude. I wanted to be like him. It hurts. I told him then, and I told Vince McMahon, if y'all want this to go away, I know how to fix it. We should do a black college tour at Morehouse and Prairie View and hit the circuit. Go and talk to them and be honest with your apology. He was like, I've been advised not to talk about it no more. I said, I think that's bad advice. Mark Henry is 100% correct about what they should have done, but he didn't do it. It reminds me of back in the, when he was on the Arsenio Hall show and they wanted him to be honest, just said, yes, I took steroids. But what did Hulk Hogan do? He lied. And so I only took it for injuries and stuff. Bro, you took steroids. Just admit you took steroids. Admit what you did was wrong and apologize to these people. Do something to bring awareness. Michael Vick was a friggin' horrible person, what he did to animals. And Michael Vick got out of jail and he was a better person and helped people and brought awareness to stuff and admitted his wrongs and repented his sins. Hulk Hogan did no such thing. So what Mark Henry just said is the perfect thing. Go ahead, Paul.
There are a lot of people who have done bad things and who have, admitted to what their faults, have come back and decided, hey, guess what? I am going to turn my life around. Michael Vick is a really, really great example, because Michael Vick went to prison, came out, and now he's helping animals rather as opposed to what he did prior to that. Mm-hmm. Now he's opened up shelters in Atlanta. I mean, he's done a lot of good with the rest of his life up to date, and that's a good thing. I agree with Mark Henry. Mark Henry, you know what? He eloquently said, perfect, down to a T. Hulk Hogan, all he had to do was admit, hey, guess what? These are the things that I did wrong. Go over there, go to go to any HBC university and tell them, hey, look, I am sorry, I apologize, and continue. He probably didn't even ask him to go to like every single black college. He just named off a couple right there, and that would have helped him a lot if he was sincere with his apology. Never got it, never happened. So guess what? As to the Iron Sheik, fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan. And I mean, we mentioned many times, when you give a half-assed apology and say, just don't get caught, brother, that's not an apology. That's you just kind of like not taking the fact that you said some dumb shit. And
you said that backstage. You had the New Day there. You had Kofi. You had Big E. You had Booker T. You had all these guys that were there. All these black athletes that were there, and then you decide to go back there. Titus O'Neil was one of the other ones that was like, you know what? I can't believe he just said that to me. Fucking.
Yeah. And Titus O'Neil had to host WrestleMania with that man in Tampa. Like, he probably wanted to kill him. Like, he probably
did. He probably was just like, you know what? Keep him on that side of the gorilla, and I'll stay on this side.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the thing, man. That was what we took away from the TMZ documentary, and Mark Henry saying it absolutely perfectly. I mean, look, it's sad. The Vince McMahon, don't put him on my TV. Vince, by the way, looks like shit, by the way. If y'all have not seen the TMZ thing in the clips, he looks like the shiznit.
I'll just say it. Whoever did his plastic surgery, Vince, get your goddamn money back.
Well, he doesn't look like, friggin' with the mustache anymore. So that's
you mean the genetic jackhammer?
A genetic jackhammer. Oh,
his name was Vicente.
Vicente.
Maybe somebody injected Vince with a lethal dose of poison.
But yeah, that was the ongoings of Vince McMahon and the Hulk Hogan story this week.
Mike, can we pause it for a second? I just gotta run to the restroom real quick.
Sure, man. We'll hit the pause for the cause. And now we move over to what was a big part of the week, the Karrion Kross interview with Ariel Helwani. And shout out to @WeWantCross on Twitter, who put up a lot of the great clips from this show. We're going to play 4 of them on here, and I will put the Twitter link for the We Want Cross movement Twitter account. So here are some of the clips.
Cheap Pop number one.
Here are some of the clips from the Ariel Helwani show. We'll start with this one. So this clip pretty much is Karrion Kross stating why he loves WWE and wants to come back even through all the frustrations and setbacks. So let's play this one first.
And despite the fact that it's been a little bit frustrating, the initial release, the suspenders, the helmet, the comeback, not being on Raw that many times this year, even on the doc, you said, hey, communication has been great. Collaboration has been great. I'd like for it to be more. Despite the fact that you've had multiple frustrations since you joined, you still want to go back.
Yes.
You still call it home.
Yep.
Why?
That's life, man. Life, there's grief and setbacks and frustrations that are going to be a part of every single aspect of life, whether it's this job or another. There was like an old Japanese saying that's kind of stuck with me for a while. It's you find a job you love and you never work a day in your life. Wrestling to me, I know for some is just a job. It's not a job really for me anymore. I tell people it's a job. To me, I still love it.
All right, so that is our first clip, and now we will go to our next clip. And this one is Karrion Kross states that they never even gave Scarlett a contract offer. He later stated, not in this clip, that he doesn't even know if they were going to even be re-signed.
10th, and she has not been re-signed.
Yeah.
When they made that offer, was it for the two of you?
Nothing. She had nothing. There was no offer to her.
Nothing.
No. I was told at one point, because I did inquire, of course.
Yeah.
After we deal with you, we'll deal with her. Like.
All right, and then we will get into our next clip, and then we'll discuss everything. This one states that he never even thought about signing the contract given him because without the information of the contract given and how they evaluate the offer, he believes it's impossible to sign the contract.
No.
How close were you to actually taking this deal within 24 hours?
Impossible.
Okay.
Because you can't, like I had explained to them, I had said, like, there's no opportunity here to make an informed decision without looking at the information together. So You can't do that. Like your whole livelihood is based on this idea with no information to support it. I just wanted to get there. I wanted to keep the dialogue open. So, and I still do, you know.
All right, we will play our final clip, and then we will discuss what we think of this fine interview. And this is Cross stating that he received an offer but wanted the information on how they came up with the offer they provided. They did not provide that and only gave him 24 hours. They talked the next day, and they rescinded the offer after not giving him that information. Here's the final clip.
You know, I got the offer. I wanted to know how they came to the valuation of that offer. Just wanted, you know, like some information, some metrics, some analytics that's supporting to, hey, this is how we got here. When I inquired about that, they were unwilling to provide that information and told me I had 24 hours to agree to the offer or they were rescinding it. So, you know, the next day we talk. I ask if they have the information. They don't. And I said, I can't make an informed decision without the information. And I'd like to keep the dialogue open. And they rescinded the offer. And that's actually where we're.
All righty. And those are some clips from the Karrion Kross Ariel Helwani interview. I'll go last, and we'll start with Dan on this one. Your thoughts on the Karrion Kross clips that we just played and some of the stuff that we just really heard from the Ariel Helwani interview.
You know, I think by and large, this whole Karrion Kross situation to me, it's just weird. Like this whole thing, I'm not necessarily saying it's a work. I'm not saying it's legit. It's just, it's weird. You know, whether I don't know what to make of it. I will say this: his book is fucking awesome. Like, if you have a chance to pick it up, do it. It's a great read. What makes this interesting was, and I saw this on X, or Twitter, whatever you want to call that damn thing.
We call it Twitter.
We call it Twitter.
Because
we're awesome.
And fuck Elon.
Yeah, that's but people were uploading clips that, you know, fans had taken from inside the arena. People chanting, "We want Kross, we want Kross." And the talent was even noticing it. And there were reports Monday of them confiscating, you know, any signs relating to Karrion Kross. You know, the fact that they're not acknowledging it, it just, to me, is just very odd. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a great interview. Ariel Helwani, to me, is, you know, really good. To me, he's one of the top two. You know, between him and Chris Van Vliet, both gentlemen are fantastic at what they do. I mean, they're not on our level yet, but
yeah, they're not on our level.
They'll get there. They'll get there.
So, Paul, with that being said, what are your thoughts on the clips from the Ariel Helwani show and the whole Karrion Kross situation?
Okay, so DC mentioned about the signs being taken away, or we didn't see any signs. There was actually one that was right on the other side of the ring on Monday Night Raw, and it's like you saw him with the sign at the beginning of the show. I think it was like the first segment on Raw, and then it was like it was gone. I don't know if, like, during the commercial break they came out and took it from him, because I didn't see it after that. Like, I didn't see anything remotely close to that afterwards. So it was just kind of weird. But you go back to Friday night and you hear people that were in the crowd, and it was weird because they actually noticed it in the arena. Well, not only in the arena, but also in the ring, is that they took notice. Sami Zayn took notice to it. Him and Solo took a little notice to it, that they were, you know, yelling out, "We want Kross." So I'm sorry that Canada didn't get the memo that they needed to cheer. Especially, sorry Quebec, you didn't get the memo. Sorry Montreal. So a little bit of Montreal actually did get some of the memo, but Quebec, you dropped the ball. You should have picked it up, but obviously that was your fault.
And even Kross has acknowledged, you know, because he had posted, you know, retweeted or reacts. I don't know what the proper term is nowadays.
We're
Retweeted.
retweeted. You're still on the.
Reposted. Retweet. Reposted.
Whatever he whatever it is.
He regurgitated.
Regurgitated.
And he's so. Am I saying that this is a total shoot? No. Am I saying this is a total work? No. Do I expect him back in WWE at some point? As I've told both of you, is Karrion Kross? Absolutely not. Karrion Kross is done. Killer Kross, he's the one we're gonna see.
Well, he did post that photo of him in the barber chair, and everybody's thinking he's going to shave his head again.
Oh God, please no, God no.
And he's going to go back to the old school Killer Kross.
Well, we can kind of say something about that because Cody went blonde. So
yeah, this is true.
That's not here nor there. And look,
as long as Kross doesn't put a goofy tattoo on his neck.
Yeah,
you know what? Look, at the end of the day, he could literally leave and come back. But I don't see him if he does leave. I think people are gaining steam. I mean, you look at the trends of We Want Kross have ranged in the top 10 of trending on Twitter, for the last week and a half that he's been gone. And pretty much before he even got released, people were like wanting him to already be there and wanting him to stay. So we go back to something we said before. If this is a shoot, a work, great. Thank you. Hoo-hoo. This isn't like Seth Rollins, to which I think that they should have did some little fabricated surgery, made it look like he was going into a surgeon as opposed to him walking down the street with his daughter wearing crutches, wearing a brace and walking with crutches. I still think they should have did like maybe something from like his first procedure, when he had his knee done 10 years ago. I think they should have did a little bit something like that, kind of throwing people off. That would have worked a hell of a lot more. But I agree with LA Knight, saying, you had the damn money in the bank. I don't understand why you felt the need that you needed to fake an injury. But anyways, I'm not here nor there. That's not what we're talking about.
So for me, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say at the end of the day, you know what? We just want to see Kross back, and I think he was doing some really, really great work in WWE. So at least for us, I would like to see him back.
Oh, of course.
And at the end of the day, fuck the Hulk Hogan.
There you go. And I will say this. I unfortunately do have to put up an Uncle Dave thing for this before I do give my opinions, because
Mike, why do you hate us?
I'll tell you why in a second. So Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio put this out. I sent this to Paul and I wanted to save this for Dan. So according to Wrestling
he wanted to make you suffer.
The Wrestling Observer News Radio, one person involved in independent wrestling brought up that Karrion Kross and Scarlett are charging a very high price tag, and after the conversation said that they weren't buying any of this regarding the WWE departure. So that was the latest news out of the WON. Okay. Yeah, that was the latest that they had to put out about Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Look, I look at it from a stance like this. I think with what he said in the interview, talking about how AEW didn't want to contact him because they didn't know if it was a work or what's going on. I look at it from a stance like this. When he talks about the day of SummerSlam, knowing that he was done and that was the end, we saw him wave to the crowd and they gave him a standing O after his match with Sammy. I look at it like this, man. If this is a work and if it is what it is, and I think he will be back, I think he'll definitely rock it to the wheels fall off wherever he goes. Personally, if it were me, I'd love to see him back in TNA. I'd love to see him do something with Moose because there's history there from his days being with Austin Aries in the main event scene in 2018. He has a lot of history with Eddie Edwards. There's something he can do in TNA. Hell, I'd love to see him in AAA. He has some history there with what he did with Johnny Mundo and Taya. And I'd love to see Karrion Kross against a Vikingo or somebody. So even in AAA, I think he would shine. But I think whatever he does, it's going to be awesome. But I'd still love to see something happen where he can still make some magic in WWE.
I'll say this, Mike. I don't see it being AEW because of someone that's there.
Yeah, the situation with Don Callis, which if y'all don't know, you can look into it. I don't want to discuss it on here because it's fucked up. But yeah, so
no.
And
I don't see that being a thing.
no, I don't either, because first of all, he's very protective of his wife, number one. And number two, how do you offer him the deal, but you don't offer her because they're a package deal? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is even just weird to me and odd. And then I did see someone on Twitter in the internet wrestling community discourse where they're pretty much like, oh, don't you wish you had Vince McMahon back? Vince McMahon booked him in a fucking gladiator helmet. Like why would you want Vince McMahon to come back and book him? Like, because that worked so well the first
was
time.
worse than the Viking experience.
Oh God, we're gonna call him the Viking experience. No, and then they went right back to the Viking Raiders. Yeah, how about no? How about no, people? For those that want to see Vince,
Let's not forget that in the '90s he tried to give Headbanger Mosh a Leave It to Beaver gimmick.
Beaver cleavage, baby, Beaver cleavage, Mama's milk. What?
Yeah,
that was a little Vince Russo and Vince McMahon. Oh, good God.
If you want to hear Mike and I discuss some really shitty wrestling gimmicks, check out Uncaged. Mike's going to put the link down below.
Cheap pop number 2. Okay. So next thing I will bring up is before we get into our Triple Mania shows, and y'all, if y'all have not checked it out tonight, go to the WWE YouTube channel. It's pretty much a light week because this was the main story, but I do have another one. Mercedes!
Oh,
Moné.
God.
So Mercedes Moné in a recent interview stated this, and I quote, Mercedes Moné was asked about the differences between the AEW and WWE locker room cultures. For me, it's night and day. When I am around the girls, it just feels like such a community of wanting to make this place grow. There's a hunger because I feel like we still feel so underground and we want to make it like up here. So all these women have so much drive and passion and I can feel it. They fire me up. I want to be the best because they want me to be the best. It feels so different. I don't want to say like, oh, WWE was bad or people are like egos, but it just feels like we're all trying to fight for something. We're trying to fight to make this the best. And I love people who have passion and hunger. You can shut the fuck up right now. Like, really? Like, come on, man. Like, you and your fucking 8 belts, you son of a gun. Oh, I can't with this woman. I literally can't with this woman. Paul, you want to take it from here on that, and then I'll come back around?
Oh, for sure. I like Mercedes Moné now.
Really?
No.
I was about to say, wait a minute.
Look. I get her standpoint. I really, really do. I get that she wants to now be the leader of this company. Specifically the women's division. I get it. I completely understand it. You know, she's literally a solo act in AEW. I mean, and her supporting cast is everybody else because that's what Tony made it. And literally it's her, Tony Storm, and everybody else.
Yep.
But she made herself the leader of this whole thing, and it seems like she wants to take the lead for everything. Somebody had posted that she's over here saying so many bad things about WWE, or you're burning these bridges. If she were going to say bad things about WWE, she would literally throw them under the damn bus. Now, I go back to something we had said prior to this, and I had said on episodes before. Mercedes Moné is wanting to continue to say all the things that she wants to say about Vince, just without actually saying them about Vince. It's like the subtleties of everything that she says. Remember, when her and Naomi left, Vince was in charge. Vince was the one who was doing everything. This wasn't Triple H. This was all Vince. That's the reason why they left. Shortly thereafter, Vince left. Now it's under Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Not this Paul, that Paul.
That Paul.
But you understand why hey. No, but you see what I'm getting at though, is like Mercedes is just trying to throw shade at everything that she did while under Vince, and I get it. So you may have worked under Paul in NXT, but this one is completely different. And I think if she had went back, or if she does eventually go back, I think she'll see that. That's just my view on it.
Well, that's my thing too. She always complains about this, and every time I read this, it's her talking about Vince without saying Vince, like you mentioned. And I look at it from a stance like this. It's like Triple H runs it way differently. And speaking of Triple H, on the side note, y'all can like seriously shut the fuck up about him and Stephanie being in Greece. And this man literally has a pacemaker, and like he's 56. And he actually is just trying to enjoy himself, and he's not in the ring anymore. So y'all got to stop making fun of him and Stephanie for just trying to enjoy their fucking vacation.
He's even said that he can't lift the way he used to,
Right?
or he'll fucking die.
Exactly. So people, fucking shut the fuck up. And number two, like with Mercedes, man, it's just like. Again, she just does this all the time. I understand, like you said, she wants to be a leader, but when your division is just you and Tony Storm and everyone else, it's like, I don't even care right now what the story they're trying to tell with who the hell is going to beat her for this fucking title. I mean, right now we only have 3 of the women for Forbidden Door out of the 4. It's Mercedes, Alex Windsor, and Persephone. That's how you pronounce it, right? Is it Persephone? Which one is it? Persephone. Okay, thank you. So she's going to be in there. We just have to get one more individual in there. So they're doing the Forbidden Door.
I already know what it's going to be.
Okay, who's it going to be?
Santina Marella.
Be quiet. So,
Scarlett.
Hey. Well, no,
I'm just joking. I don't know. But
Arvina
look, at the end of the day, we can sit here and say that it's Mercedes. Yeah. Really, it's Tony.
Yeah.
And Tony's the one that's letting her do all this. And I understand that people are going to say, oh, well, you have no idea. Like, if she had creative control, why didn't she beat Tony Storm? Why would she want to beat Tony Storm?
Right.
She has belts from other promotions. And as far as like her having the belts, it's a good thing for those other promotions to get their belt out there. It's getting their belt that's from these indie companies on national TV, because she walks out there with every single one of them. So people are like, ooh, I wonder what belt that one's from. Ooh, where's that one from? Ooh, where's that one from? So you're getting your belts. They don't have a weekly shows or a weekly television show. So great. You got good representation, and you got somebody going out there to represent your company. So,
I mean, if you look at if you look at the Forbidden Door card, and I want to mention this before we move on from AEW, this fucking what? Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna fucking say it. Like,
yeah,
I forget.
Fucking say it, Dan.
I forget who said it. As far as they're like,
I did.
Tony's focused on putting out the best product. He doesn't need to rant on WWE anymore because he's got his talent to fucking do it. And I'll say this right fucking now. You know that let's say if Mercedes went back to WWE on Monday night, and if she were to show up on Raw, I guarantee in media that she would do subsequently, she'd be ranting on AEW. Guarantee you she would.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, my thing with AEW right now is...
Well, she won't, because Tony will just look at her and say, "I'll pay you.
I'll pay you, Mercedes. I love you. CEO.
Please stay with my company."
I mean...
She's going to be out there going, CEO.
She's done in the past.
And don't forget, it's boss time.
Michael Cole, don't remind me. So this card for Forbidden Door, Jesus. So Tony Khan literally rushed the Adam Copeland, and Christian Cage feud to they hug on Dynamite. They couldn't just wait until Toronto when they're back at All Out, or the UK pay-per-view, or at the pay-per-view in itself. So what he did is he had Cope versus Stoke, and FTR gets involved, and it's a whole schmaz. Christian comes out with Spike, and then they lay out Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian, and then they bump into each other and they hug. And Tony immediately announces Adam Copeland and Christian, who haven't teamed with each other since 2011 in 14 years, against Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian at Forbidden Door. And I'm like, you just fucking rushed this goddamn reunion so hard, it's not even funny. And you know what that means. That means FTR is going to win the final, and they're going to beat the Hurt Syndicate and win the tag titles. And then FTR is going to face Cope and Christian, and they're going to win the AW tag titles in Toronto. And then the other thing he does is Will Ospreay cuts this fucking promo weeks ago talking about my neck and his spinal and how he's friggin' hurting, and the fact that, spinal. And then fucking 4 weeks later, he's like, bruv, love. We're gonna have a lights out cage match. I'm gonna find my boys, and we're gonna take on the Death Riders.
So what? They're gonna have this thing in the dark?
God, so it's a lights out cage match.
Yeah, I'll be watch my shows.
And it goes to the point of, and it's like they announce right after they friggin' sit down with the Young Bucks, and it's friggin' Moxley, the Young Bucks, Gabe Kidd, and against Hiroshi Tanahashi, who's going to be having his final match in the UK, Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, and not even hearing from him, it's the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. Now, Kenny Omega got screwed in his match with Okada, and you think he'd want revenge, but no, we're going to have Okada and Swerve out of nowhere, and we're just going to put the Golden Lovers back together for this lights out cage match. It's so rushed. It's just so whatever. And tonight on Collision,
Bangers, Mike.
I know.
Bangers.
And tonight on Collision, Nigel McGuinness won the Fatal 4-Way, so we're going to get Zack Sabre Jr. and Nigel McGuinness for the IWGP World's Heavyweight Championship, which I love Nigel. I'm not going to lie. I'm sure it's going to be a technical classic. But again, just bangers. And friggin' Kyle Fletcher's like, I want the best that New Japan has to offer. And we're going to get friggin' him and Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP, not the IWGP, I'm sorry, the AEW TNT Championship. And I'm like, fine, whatever. But it feels so rushed, and it's just
Bangers.
like bangers. Y'all want to just comment about this booking, Paul? Do you understand where I'm coming from with Cope and Christian, how they rushed the fuck out of that?
I think the reason why they're rushing it is because Adam's contract is up in, I believe, November.
Wow. Oh, yeah, well, it's been 1 year since what? 1 or 2 years since he's been with fucking this company?
Mm-hmm. And even the time off, for his ankle injury.
Yeah, the ankle where he jumped off the cage, yeah.
Yeah, so if we're doing this right and his contract is up in November, rushing it just seems like one of those things that they're doing just for the sake of let me keep you here.
Right.
But the one thing you didn't mention was Austin Ace Austin is now all elite. So
can you see the excitement on my face?
I see the excitement on your face. I honestly think he should have went to NXT, but if that's where you wanted to go, hey, I mean,
more power to you.
More power to you. I think you probably should have just stayed in TNA, but hey,
it's one of those things where I look at it like this, man. Ace Austin was a great talent from the X Division, from his tag team with Chris Bay, which makes me think that Chris Bay, if he wouldn't got hurt, they probably would have went to AEW. But they did the match with him and Ricochet on Collision tonight. And I'm just like, okay, where else do we go with Ace Austin? I mean, with Ricochet, how the mighty have fallen. He feuds with Will Ospreay. He feuds with Swerve.
Bitch.
He has the feud with Okada and not Okada. Yeah, he has a match with Okada.
Yeah, with Okada.
Yeah, and he had the match with Omega and Speedball Mike Bailey. Then he has the feud with Briscoe. And now he's in a freaking trio with the Gates of Agony, who haven't done dick since they've been in AEW. It's just, this whole company is just such. And I think, honestly, I think Tony Storm's going to beat Athena. I think MJF is going to beat Hangman Adam Page, because I think the money match that they want is MJF and Bobby Lashley for the World's Heavyweight Championship. I don't know, man. And I hear Wardlow's cleared to back in action. Please don't put him back with MJF, because it makes no sense. And the Pinnacle fucking against the Hurt Syndicate. I don't know, man. It's just such a mess over there. Daniel, you want to comment? Go ahead.
Do I want to
it makes sense to the sickos.
I know, right?
Anything he does makes sense to the sickos.
Of course.
Like, and Lashley will probably beat MJF because,
reasons.
Why not? I find it absolutely hilarious that people that bitched and moaned when Lashley signed with AEW now are like, oh my God, we love you.
Yes.
I mean, granted, WWE fans do it too. Like,
I think Papa Lark said it the best. The WWE fans are Mark, and the AEW sickos are a cult. I think he said it absolutely the best. WWE fans are Marks, and the AEW fans are.
Hi, Papa Lark.
Hi, Papa Lark.
Hi, Papa Lark. But here's the thing, though, is like nobody can just enjoy wrestling.
No, it's never.
Nobody can just sit here and just say, "Hey, guess what? We like what the hell they do in the ring." Yeah, I get it. as much as we rag on AEW, for the things that they do that they don't do as far as like creatively, they've done better with a few of their stories, but they've missed on a lot of them. Now, nothing that we say has anything to do with the wrestling. The wrestling is great. We love the wrestling. That's A1. We know that they're going to go out there and kick ass. It's the stories that go along with them. Hey, we're going to be the first ones to tell you, hey, guess what? WWE, this storyline sucks.
Yep.
But the wrestling, hey, is really, really good. And it's great sometimes. Same thing with AEW. Yes, sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's great. It's not going to be great all the time if the story doesn't match it. Plain and simple.
And that's my thing too, is I look at so many of the things that they do, and it just reminds me of just, Tony does not know how to tell a lengthy story, have stories cross on everything, because Collision is just what it is. It's just there. He just doesn't know how to do it. And I'm sorry. I mean, I get the product of where the best wrestle, but after a while, can we at least get something? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm just
the best story that they have right now is MJF and the 4 stories that he has going on.
Yeah, with the Lashley stuff and the Hangman stuff. And I don't think the Mark Briscoe stuff is kind of done pretty much.
But you know what? I don't think it's finished. As much as you want to say it's done, I just don't think it's done. Because I think that there is still a layer there that they can kind of explore. But you're giving MJF all these kind of branches for his story, that he's doing. And great. Hey, cool, fine and dandy. But if they don't intertwine and they don't conflict with each other, then you're just having 4 separate stories for one person, or 3 separate stories for one person, and everybody else is getting pretty much fucked on the other end of it.
I agree, man. No, and I mean, with what they're doing with the tag division, I mean, the women's division, the TBS title division. Personally, what I fear is with the Athena stuff is like she's going to go right back to Ring of Honor after this is all done. I hope not. I hope we're going to get more of her because she's so good, and I just feel she needs to be more on AEW than more with what we're doing in Ring of Honor. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is to me, and I don't hate it. It's just like we mentioned, it's frustrating because Tony is going to be Tony. Tony's going to Tony, to put it in the bluntest of terms. And I mean,
let's get on AAA, man. I'm done with Tony. I'm done with AEW.
Okay.
Fuck the Tony Khan and fuck the Hulk Hogan.
All right. Well, I will mention.
Let's get something fucking positive other than a fucking nerd.
Well, let's talk about Naomi, and then we'll play something from the former co-host of the Undertaker's podcast. So let's talk about Naomi first. Well, we did not find out if she's pregnant on Stephanie McMahon's podcast with Naomi and Jimmy. She's going to address it on Monday. What are we thinking, y'all? Are we thinking she's going to announce it to the people like Karma did back in 2011? What are we thinking?
Or Becky Lynch in 2020?
That too, yes. Thank you.
I don't know. It has to be something that, people are going to be like, oh, whoa. I think they swerved us to get us to watch the show. Great, cool, fine, dandy. But I'm kind of hoping that she wants to do this in front of the crowd. And if she wants to do this in front of the crowd and we find out something more definitive, cool. Yay, congratulations.
I mean, we got the Asuka turning heel now, and I mean, Io and Asuka is going to be awesome to see in the little layers that we're going to add to that. What do you think, Daniel? What are you thinking?
See, I don't know. Like, I keep going back to the Rollins injury thing. Like, is this just a storyline where she faked the injury to I mean, would I put it past them to pull this crap? No, I wouldn't.
It would be interesting because you're only 2 weeks away from Clash in Paris. So why are you gonna just?
And she goes up against Stephanie Velcro.
Yeah.
Which if it's legitimate and she is out, whether it be for I've heard concussion tossed around. I really hope it's not that. But whatever the case is, she has expressed interest in having kids and having medical issues that are going to make it very difficult. and basically lowering her window to very small amount of time. Whatever the case may be, this has been the run of a fucking career that she has been on the past year. We both talked about this. The three of us have talked that sometimes a complete 180 career change, character change, it either works very, very well or just flops. This has been a complete grand slam, out of the park, home run, whatever you want to call it. She has been on a tear, and the crowd was getting behind her, and she was feeling it. You could tell she was feeling what she was doing. And if the rumors are true and that she and Jimmy are, good for them.
Making babies.
Making babies.
Good for them. They've both been wanting it for a while, and whatever the case is, I hope it's something positive and that it's not an injury where she got hurt.
Big Jim laying it down, but no.
It's weird because they did mention on the show that they eventually would like to start a family, and they did mention what Becky did, and I forgot who else that they mentioned, but they talked about them having a family, and Alexa Bliss. That was the other person that she mentioned. Yeah, and she mentioned them, having kids and then going away and then coming back. She did kind of refer to that, and if at her age, I would love to see her, even if she does take the time off to go have a baby, and they want to start a family, and they've already mentioned about them wanting to start a family. So if this is something that they want and something that they feel that they want to do, hey, all the power to them.
So with that being said, Monday. We love you, Naomi, and we want nothing but the best for you. Yeet. And no yeet. Now we will go to something that Paul pointed out, and I did watch this in full, Mr. Paul Morales. The former co-host of 6 Feet Under, Travis, I believe is the gentleman's name.
Matt, I think was his name.
Matt? Who am I thinking of? Thank you. I'm thinking of Jim Cornette's freaking
At least you didn't say that other idiot that, messed up WrestleMania.
Oh, fucking that goddamn. Not that idiot.
You said Travis, so I'm just like,
No, Travis was the guy that did Jim Cornette's artwork, and he got booted because of who he's for, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm not going to say. So we're going to talk about this because he was on with Maven, and he got asked why is he no longer on the 6 Feet Under podcast, which now is on the WWE YouTube channel, which is Undertaker and Michelle McCool now. So let's hear what good old Matt had to say.
Because I really wanted to talk to you about some stuff. I was like, okay. I thought that he was about to tell me I'm done.
You thought he was going to quit altogether. Which is too much.
I thought he was just going to be like, hey, man, LFG, everything else. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm too much on my plate. He's like, hey, the podcast is going to be taken over by WWE and all. That's what, we're going to move in that direction.
So this was news to you?
Yeah.
You had no clue?
No clue at that point. And I was like, so I'm assuming that this is the end of my run on this. And he goes, yeah, unfortunately. I was like,
but wait a minute, you're part owner, correct?
No, yes. I mean,
fair enough. Fair enough.
Because at the end of the day, he's still my friend.
Yeah.
And we're saying
nothing's going to change that.
Absolutely not. Not on my end anyway.
I hate the guy for what he did to you. No, I'm kidding.
Him dumping me as a friend is fine on his.
He better never call me. No,
it's actually an upgrade for him, right? To get rid of me. He and I talked for a little bit more. I go outside with him. He's at his truck. He just looked at me and he goes, "We good?" I said, "Mark," I said, "we said something a long time ago. We were at a hotel here in Savannah, and we shook hands and we said, if money ever comes in between us, we're going to shut the whole thing down.
Yeah,
we're going to go to the woods and we're going to go hunting,
and
that's it. And we'll forget about all of it." And I was like, "Dude," I said, "there's nothing business wise that on my end would ever come between you and I." I was like, It's a podcast, man.
And it was probably weighing on him, knowing the relationship he has with you, that he had to break that news to you.
Mark kept the show going probably 6 to 8 months longer than he wanted to if I was a betting man.
Really?
Because of me.
Yeah.
He said yes to a lot of things that he probably would have said no to other people. So yeah, I mean that was essentially how I found out.
All righty. So I'll start with Paul. What were your thoughts on what Matt had to say?
You know, Mark is a very, very good man. You know, at least he came out, he said it, as opposed to them just kind of cutting him out, you know, and then just kind of saying, hey, guess what, you know, or him not saying nothing to him and WWE approaching him or getting a phone call and whatnot. This was a face-to-face conversation. Good man. Very, very good man. A very, very good way to look at this.
Honorable man.
And honorable. Thank you. And I think there was no other way to put it, and at least that was how it was broken to him. I love Maven and his sarcasm and the fact that he was throwing those jabs, because if you go back and you look at the interview that Taker and Matt did with Maven, dude, they were joking throughout it. So it's just something that they have with each other. So I thought it was awesome. And even if they didn't, they would go out and go hunting. So,
Dan, what are your thoughts on the whole shebang?
You know, I think he handled it Matt handled it very professionally. You know, I really enjoyed, you know, what he did with Taker. You could tell that they were legit friends. You know, like the whole. So he said Cucumber should have broke the streak. You can't shit about the streak. Like I have seen that so many times on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, you know, whatever TikToks, whatever it is, and you could tell like it was a genuine friendship, and I'm sure, you know, Taker doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that is malicious, like that he kind of went to him directly and just said, hey, you know, this is what the company wants. And we've all had to have difficult conversations with friends, you know, and you always kind of worry, like, how are they going to take this, you know? And I think the fact that Taker just ripped the Band-Aid off and just said, hey, look, this is what the company wants. So I would like to see him do something with someone else, you know, like, because he's got a good personality. Like Matt's got a good personality. Like have him do his own thing, have him work with Maven a little bit. Like
that's who I was going to suggest. Him and Maven do something together, because they looked like they were just almost like him and Mark. And I think Mark is a very different type of creature. Like he's a very different type of reserved, knowing. You could tell his humor, but he's very reserved. And you go to somebody like Maven, and Maven has that a little bit more of he expresses himself a hell of a lot better than Mark does. So I could see them two doing a podcast together and it being successful.
I agree.
Just don't go with fucking Brian Alvarez, because he's a dumbass.
God.
Him and
my thing too is, man, when I look at that
the
guy,
one man show.
I mean, when you look at
what I did there,
I saw what you did there. I saw what Taker did with Matt. I liked it. I've been watching the stuff that he's doing with Michelle. The Gunther interview was great. The Charlotte Flair one was funny. It's a different dynamic because it's just husband and wife talk now. And Michelle, I know a lot of people are crapping on Michelle, feel that she adds nothing to the show, but I'm like, I have no issue with it. I mean, I'll support it either way, but I think him and Matt gelled well because you could tell it was two buddies just chopping it up and shooting the shit, and it was great to see just their dynamic. But him and Michelle, it's all right. I don't hate it, but it's okay. What do y'all think about the Michelle stuff?
It's going to take time. It's going to take time getting used to it. It's like anytime you watch a show where they either change out a character or one of the hosts changes, like when the Daily Show initially went from Jon Stewart to Stephen Colbert, and then from Colbert to Trevor Noah, like there's that adjustment period.
Absolutely. And I mean, Paul, what are your thoughts on what Michelle is doing with Taker now, the husband and wife dynamic on the show?
I think it gives him a different sense of familiarity.
Different
I know
outlet.
it's his wife. I mean, it's somebody who he's comfortable with. And I'm not saying he didn't feel comfortable with Matt. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's a different dynamic. I mean, it's good for him, and he has this rapport with his wife, you know, that they can kind of bounce stuff off of each other, you know, like a great relationship, you know. And she's a wrestler too, so, you know, a former wrestler, so, you know, she knows what it's like to interview a lot of these people. I'm not saying that she was this great talker on the mic, you know, initially, but she did have her moments when she was in the ring, and, you know, she did the promos that she did. And, you know, it's the interview that they did with Charlotte, I thought was probably one of their best interviews. So that's just me.
No, and Charlotte comes off so likable, like the funny stuff about the ESPN cover and whatnot. Like that conversation was hilarious.
Give us that Charlotte on TV. Like,
well, we are kind of getting it.
Like, I will say this: the stuff that she's been doing with Alexa has been the best of her career.
The pigtails in her hair, friggin', in that short.
That was my wife and I love that one.
We're not friends.
We're not friends. It's just,
are you gonna do it? No. You're gonna do it? No. I'm gonna do it, and then I did it.
Like, that stuff is just so funny. Give me more of that. I mean, I've been just enjoying their dynamic, and that's what's the great part about this, man. That's what makes great storytelling and great matches. And I mean, y'all, speaking of great matches, we gave you a little some of the good stuff of what we had this week, a lot to really dive into. And then we talked about Tony, and then our stomach hurt, but our stomachs are going to feel a lot better because, man, this was the right medicine for it. AAA, Triple Mania. Wow. Friggin' 6 matches.
Yes.
Yeah. Gracias. Okay. So, friggin' let's start from let's start from the beginning, because we had is it the Copa Badarhi? Copa Badarhi? You're gonna have to help me with this. Is it the Copa Badarhi? Go ahead, Paul.
Look, it's just a cup. That's all
right, man. I'm all right. I got you. So it's a cup. It's like the Royal Rumble for AAA.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just it's like a battle royal, like a Royal Rumble, whatever. Hey, it has the Royal Rumble feel to it, but it's kind of like the battle royal, like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is basically what it is.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm trying because I've been enjoying this. And now let's talk about these participants. So it's 14 men. We had La Parca, we had Laredo Kid, Joaquin Wilde, Abismo Negro Jr., Taurus, Aerostar, Mecha Wolf, Cruz del Toro, Otis, Pimpinella Escalada, who we've seen on Lucha Underground, Cibernetico, Microman, who we're going to get into in a minute here, Omos, and Octagon Jr. I thought it was a nice surprise to see Pimpinella, because the comedy stuff that they did with Otis was hilarious, and kissing the hand, and is he going to Otis? Is he going to kiss him? If not, we got the caterpillar, we got everything. Let's talk about that funny part first before we get to the really, really funny part. Did y'all enjoy seeing the Pimpinella comedy shtick with Otis?
Yes, I thought it was hilarious. I couldn't believe it, but I was like, whoa. I go, but then okay, we'll go first. Otis was there.
Yeah.
Otis of all people were there. Let's just say Omos was there, but we'll get to Omos in a second. But Otis, man, what the hell is up with the beard, bro? Otis, I love it. Was like Grizzly Adams came out in full force. Forget Bigfoot. It was like medium foot with Otis. I mean, literally, like, dude is like this tall.
Who needs Bigfoot when you got big gut?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But I mean, it was one of those crazy matches, though, all together, all around. It was awesome. I thought it was awesome.
Well, I like the fact that you can not just eliminate by throwing him over the top rope, you can also pinfall or submission. And I thought that added a nice little layer to it. I mean, I was really happy to see him. Abismo Negro Jr., when he came out, I'm like, I've heard that name before. I'm like, okay, I dig that. I thought everybody in this, man, it was just fun. And then we get to the real fun part. So Microman comes out, and then Omos comes out. Microman is just in there. He's doing his thing. He's having some comedy fun with Otis, and he actually eliminates Otis with a splash at the top rope. But Omos is taking charge, and then Microman comes from behind, and he's hitting him on the leg, and then Omos is looking like, what's going on here? Then he looks down, and he literally gives him the biggest of boots I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not going to lie, I died after he hit him friggin' with the boot. It was so funny that he just puts him on the friggin' rope. And then, of course, he eliminates him with the friggin' military press over the ropes. Can we talk about Microman and Omos? And Dan, I'll let you go first on this one.
You know what? That whole thing where, like, Omos's back was to him, and, like, he kicked him in the back in the ankle. And Omos kind of like shoot him away like a fly. And then he turns around and like he looks, he's like, and like you hear people shouting, "Look down!" And he looks down, and to a guy that only came up to just like his lower thigh.
Mm-hmm.
And Omos was like, you can tell he didn't use full force because, dude, he would have killed him.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean,
and like he just basically like, when you're getting pestered, you kind of like shooing it, a pest away. That's basically what he was doing. Like he's just like, go,
just go. I mean, he looked great. I mean, for someone who did his work as a GHC tag champ at Pro Wrestling Noah, and he's done a lot of great work there, and really getting to see him more stay in Mexico, and I can't wait to see him back stateside. Paul, for you, what was your thoughts on Omos and Microman and the comedy that ensued?
That was Microman just being in the match itself. It was hilarious. We can sit here to the end of it and just laugh our asses off about everything. But what was great about it was him and Otis. The fact that he got a pin on Otis, and the whole entire thing I thought was just original. It was so uniquely crazy, but at the same time fun. Everything. I mean, it was a whole lot of spots, a whole lot of just flips, and outside to the ring, and it was great. I mean, I was thoroughly entertained. I mean, I know you guys were. I know you guys saw Microman and you guys were just like, why? But until he came into the ring and you saw what he did, you guys were probably busting up laughing. So
Papa Lark was like, are you kidding me right now? And I'm like, yeah, Microman, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
I'd seen the like clips of him before, and it was just like, oh my god, it's this guy.
Yep, exactly. Right guy did go over though, and Omos. This was such a strong showing. And speaking of strong showings, let's talk about the next matchup, as it was El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. defeating El Macias, the former Judas Macias, Mil Muertes, TNA, Lucha Underground, Ricky Banderas from Wrestling Society X. I really enjoyed this new AAA Latin American champion, the inclusion of Dr. Wagner Jr., his father. Everything from this was a nice little stamp of just that feud that has been across Mexico for years. Did y'all like seeing Ricky Banderas back? Because he still looks in great shape.
Oh, yeah.
They all looked like they were in great shape. I mean, even Dr. Wagner Jr., I mean, he was
like 60 now.
I know, who's like 60, and oh my God, he still looks like he's built. So
he looks like he could get his gear on, get back in the ring, and just go. I mean, and go out there and do a great match. I mean, he can throw out. Forget what Ric Flair looked like. Look at Dr. Wagner Jr. and you'll be like, that man looks like he can go.
I think it's a stance too and a staple, because I mean, we've seen El Hijo del Wagner Jr. on a lot of things. AAA, I think he may have done some TNA and AEW stuff, but that dude has been around stateside, and El Macias is
Worlds Collide.
Worlds Collide, yes, thank you. He was also on Worlds Collide. That's the thing that I'm really enjoying, man. Just really highlighting that. And speaking of highlighting, you could tell we're really into AAA. This ownership, partnership, everything has just been sweet. But we got to talk about this sweetness, the two sweetness. So we had the Judgment Day against Mr. Iguana, Nino Hamburgosa, and Lola Vice. First of all, Iguana, Dimanito, hamburgers. This whole match was just fun. That's the best way I could put it. It was just fun. And of course, it led to, oh God, who's the new chick that they just signed? The one that chased off Roxanne. What the hell's her name? La Hydra?
Oh yeah, La Hydra.
La Hydra, thank you. That they just signed. Like, that was a nice little thing because then that gives you something going into when worlds collide with La Hydra and Roxanne. So I thought that was a nice little touch. But I think the right team went over. I think Lola Vice having her wrestle now in AAA and doing NXT really expands just her fan base and giving her more.
Pick up your mouth. Pick up your mouth, man.
Love
I
me
see
some
you.
Lola Vice.
We see you, Dan. Come on, Dan. Come on.
Dan ain't making it unknown. I mean, you can see his face. He's just like,
yep. I know.
Like, Homegirl's got serious fucking potential. Like, the crowd loved her.
yeah.
You know, she's been killing it in NXT. You know, do I think she's necessarily ready for Raw or SmackDown just yet?
No.
Not totally. I'd say another 6 months, maybe. Like, Royal Rumble, I'd definitely see it.
I'll agree.
I you know what? I would like for her to stay in NXT for at least another year, but still do this over in AAA because that's it. It's a beautiful thing for her to go over there, learn from a lot of the women that are there.
NXT Women's title run
and an NXT title, and you know what? North American title. You know what? Just give her that one.
I think you have another potential opponent for when we get to that particular spot with Sol Ruca and everything that we're going to see there. But I think for me, like seeing the Demonito, seeing the Iguana, seeing the hamburgers, it was something to really expand with the Judgment Day and just have them be on the same page. And I'll be honest, again, the right team went over and they were just, it was so fun. Like,
we need one more thing to happen.
What's that now?
We need Santino and the Cobra.
The Cobra, the Iguana, the hamburgers. Oh my goodness. The possibilities are endless. So after that, again, very entertaining. We had Pagano and Psycho Clown beat Los Garza. Very short reign for Los Garza with the AAA World Tag Team Championship. I'll let you go first over there, Mr. Yes, because I did enjoy this. Go ahead, Paul.
Man, that match was fucking crazy, but I mean, it was awesome to watch. I mean, you could go back and watch it. I'll just put you like this: if you like entertaining matches, this one was entertaining. And the fact you go under the ring, they pull the Los Gatos pull out the kendo sticks, go to the other side, and they pull out the ones that have like the barbed wire on it, and they're just kind of standing there like looking at each other like, God damn it, we should have went to that side. No, but it was a great match. I mean, and I think the right team went over. Wow. I mean, as much as I like Los Garzas, I mean, I'm just saying in particular how they work with people. They didn't need a lengthy title run because I think at some point in time you're giving them more of a platform to help out with down there in AAA. So, and it's getting them on TV. So I could see the whole crew going down there, you know, and them all three of them going down there and having a great run there. So utilize them well.
I think for me, seeing the crazy spots with the table, the chairs, like you mentioned, the barbed wire kendo sticks, and Berto
taking, it was a street fight, man. It was a street fight.
But Berto taking a barbed wire Spanish fly with the mouth was nuts. That ending was just so oof, and something you've really never seen, and it added a nice little layer to it. So, Dan, your thoughts on this match and Psycho and Pagano going over?
Again, like you said, right team won. I remember. I mean, I grew up watching WCW. I watched the Garza's uncle, their Uncle Hector. I remember watching him do it, and like to see where they've come, and you know, Berto, which. When he came in as Humberto Carrillo, seeing how far he has come, like
Oh, from the 205 live guy to this?
Yeah.
I really hope they keep them together.
Well, it makes sense because, I mean, if you remember when they first started doing the 205 stuff, Angel was the one with just like giving the roses, and he was the ladies' man, and he was the heel. But I'm like, that's cool, but I'd rather see the cousins like team together, like not have them feud with each other. It was fine, but their work's so better collectively, and that's the main thing. And speaking of people working collectively, before we get to the match that Paul wants to talk about because he popped for a certain someone's entrance and how she wrestled, we got to talk about Conan going to the AAA Hall of Fame. What'd you think of Ray's speech and Conan just being so thankful, rightfully deserved? Go ahead.
You have to like how he was being heckled by somebody in the front.
Yes.
And he kept telling him, "Pinche tu madre, cabrón." And he kept telling him, he kept talking shit to him. And I'm like, but I understood it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is my moment. Why the hell are you fucking it up? So, you know what? Hey, I give him all the credit for actually commenting on it and saying something to the dude. So, but it's good. I mean, Conan, has started back in the early 90s, if I'm not mistaken, and I mean, God, he looks so old now. I mean, and you look back from back then, I mean, it's night and day, man. I mean, but congratulations to Conan. Seriously, man. I mean, he's well deserved, especially for that company that he's helped run for the last 20 years, something like that, 15 years.
Oh, agreed. I mean, they showed the Filthy Animal stuff. They showed him coming from AAA, his work there, to WCW. I mean, everything. And it was great to see Ron Killings and Road Dogg, because, of course, K-Quick and Road Dogg and the 3 Live crew in TNA. We had a lot of people just thanking and showing a lot of love to Conan, as they should. And, I mean, Dan, your thoughts on his Hall of Fame speech there going into the AAA Hall of Fame?
The one issue I have, they didn't show anything of his time in WWE.
Oh, God, he's going to go there. Oh,
Max Moon.
You really got to go there? You're going to go there, Dan?
Yes, I fucking do. Hey, it happened.
I know it happened, but he hates that run, and he hates that run.
It still
happened. We got all the most important moments of his career.
I'll be honest,
highlighted.
His WCW run, I remember watching him as a kid. Mm-hmm. He was one of my absolute favorites. His NWO run, and his in the Black and White, and then the Wolf Pack, like, dude was good. Like, and he got over he was able to connect with the crowd in a way that very few people could. He's very controversial. Like, some people, he's another, along the veins of like Russo, Cornette, like, some people either really love him or they absolutely hate him.
Case in point, the guy that was in the crowd that was heckling him, who hated him.
Now, I have to ask, so pretty much, Dan, what you're also saying before we get into this next match, and you brought up the WCW run, so we have to talk about this. So what you're telling me is, Dan, when Conan started rapping "Bow Wow Wow, Yippee Yo, Yippee Yay, Arriba La Raza" all day, every day, from the Lucha Libre to the WCW Carnal, you were a fan of that? You were bumping that, weren't you, Dan?
Yeah, I was a little kid. Who wasn't?
It was a classic. It was a classic.
I still remember Max Moon. I had the action figure.
Oh, God. You bought the action. How much was it?
Back in the day, like, they were like $7 back in the day.
$7 for a Max Moon action figure.
Dude, nowadays, action figures are like $20.
I know. I'm aware.
It's expensive. And like, if you get like the top tier model, you're paying even more.
Oh, speaking of top tier, we'll get on to the next.
Well, I got one of Rhea and Dom, so that one was like $30. So
$30 for Rhea and Dom. Jeez Louise, man. All right, okay. So speaking,
I'll bust it out before the end of the show. So
all right, okay. Now, and we also, you got your girl Naya, so that's always a plus too. You got your girl.
I got her too.
Mm-hmm.
Bathwater not included.
Bathwater not included. Let me see. I just need Stephanie Vaquer and
Julia,
and I got enough Rhea. I just need some more.
No Lola Vice.
I need a Lola Vice.
No Lola Vice.
I need a Lola Vice.
Yes,
I need a
we
Lola
do.
Vice. Yes, I do.
Well, speaking of something that we need,
I need a Jada Parker though.
Oh boy. Okay. Miss Parker. Miss
Wow.
Parker. Miss Parker. So speaking of something that we need, we had a three-way match for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship as Flammer,
The Queen of Queens.
the Queen of Queens, defeated Fabi Apache and Natalia. No, it was Natty. Natalia came out in her Natty attire, and she threw some live rounds on some Fabi Apache at Flammer. The referee was very biased. He did some slow counting. He did some fast counting. Like that, the ref was.
I honestly thought that they were going to start beating up the referee for being so slow, and we were going to get another referee to come in and have to take over because he was being so biased, towards Flamer. So,
okay,
but it was a good match. I thought it was an entertaining match, and I love Natalia and her double sharpshooter. Didn't quite have it on Fabi, but you know what? Hey,
it's all right.
It worked. You know what? And some of the spots on there were a little but I get it. You don't work with these women a lot, so it showed. Still entertaining. I don't care. Still very entertaining.
Did you like the brawl afterwards? Because it looks like at When Worlds Collide, we're gonna get Natty.
Worlds Collide.
Yep.
And here's what I was going to tell you earlier. So let me just point something out to you real quick.
Okay.
Natty is 43 years old.
Wow.
Fabi is 44 years old.
Okay.
Flamer is 25 years old.
Wow. Okay.
So you got this woman in there with this young girl in there with these two veterans. I'm telling you, we're gonna get a great match between Fabi and Natty at freaking Worlds Collide. I don't care. They're gonna go out there and they're gonna beat the hell out of each other. That's all I want to see.
I'm for it. And Dan, what were your thoughts on us getting the Natty gimmick as opposed to Natalia in the match in itself?
This is the fucking gimmick I want to see more of.
Yeah, not the Maxine Dupree stuff that we're getting on Raw.
I want to see her just absolutely beat the dog shit out of Maxine Dupree and just like
The fuck?
go full heel.
Yeah.
No, I want to see Maxine just turn into that like Natty. I'm so tired of this whole fashionista that she's doing. I need some more rage in her. I need what we got with her and Becky Lynch. It was like
I was not feeling it.
It was just like meh.
You were not sports entertained.
No, I was not.
I was not sports entertained.
They need to do more. She's had this woman, that being Maxine Dupree, has had this gimmick for 3 fucking years. When they started the Maximum Male Model stuff with LA Knight.
Yeah.
Dupree, yeah. For 3 fucking years, she's been doing the same gimmick. Change it up. Change it up. So, speaking of change, we gonna change it up, flip the script, if you will. We had our 4-way match.
Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no.
So we had our 4-way match for the AAA Mega Championship. Vikingo defeated Dominic, Dragon Lee, and El Grande Americano and Ludwig Kaiser.
Are you not entertained with this match?
Dude, I loved it. Like, he spoke perfect Spanish. Freaking Dominic just was a freaking turd. You had freaking Dragon Lee just fucking doing his thing. Vikingo is amazing. Like, everybody did their thing. This fatal 4-way had the right spots to it, the continuity of having LWO come out, the Los Grandes, as Corey called them, with Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, allegedly. And then you think Dominic, when he puts the loaded mask in and he's about to win, they got AJ Styles all the way to Mexico to just Styles clash Dom and Vikingo to hit the 630 for the 1-2-3 and retain. First and foremost, I got to say, what is with the crowd booing Vikingo? Like, he's a babyface there, but they hate Vikingo. They hate Vikingo. What the hell was that all about?
I told you guys in the chat, the only reason why they're doing it is because they wanted either Dom to win or they wanted El Grande Americano to win, because they had their preference. And the fact that Vikingo won is something that they didn't want to see, as you could tell by after he won it and people were booing.
Yep.
it just seems like they're already turning on him. Like they want a new face, and that face is either Dominic Mysterio or El Grande Americano. That's all it is.
And I didn't know
Who may or may not be Ludwig Kaiser.
I didn't know he had the voice. He was friggin' singing that song with the mariachi. Like, I was impressed. I liked it. That was a great entrance, man.
It was awesome. You have to admit it. It was pretty good. And then the fact that he was backstage speaking Spanish.
Like I'll say
shout out to Ludwig Kaiser. I mean Grande Americano.
Who may or may not be Ludwig Kaiser.
Who may or may not, who definitely is not Chad Gable.
You know, I'm really curious to see where this whole Grande Americano gimmick is going. You know, I'm here for it.
I am too. And I mean, if Dominic becomes the king of the luchadors, I think that's going to be something special. I'm curious to see where we go with Vikingo going towards When Worlds Collide. I mean, there's so many possibilities, and I think for their 33rd Triple Mania and also having the WWE umbrella, having it being broadcasted on YouTube, we're over 100K plus. We're watching the doggone show tonight. It was amazing. Like, they have found something with this product. They produced it well. The synergy is there. I'm looking forward to the Las Vegas show. And to reiterate that, it's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Friday, 7 p.m. Paul's time. And as someone who's been to Vegas and did it 7 p.m. Pacific for his ring announcing duties back in the day, it's a time for people. It's a late night on a Friday, but damn it, it's worth it. It's worth it. So that was When Worlds Collide.
We're going to have to bring that man back to Vegas because we're going to have to take him to some strip clubs. You know what I'm saying? No. Take that back. We're going to have to take him to the library. He's got to go check out some of them librarians. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty sure Godfather has a establishment out there.
Cheetahs, baby. Cheetahs.
It's called Little Darlings.
Okay. Fair enough. So the adult entertainment aside, going into that, if you could hook me up with some Bridget the Midget type of vibes there too, I'm good there. We mentioned many times. Get them all up in there, man. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, man. See, this is why we can't have nice things.
So with that being said, that was When Worlds Collide. Y'all go out of your way on YouTube to watch it. Great show top to bottom. We're really looking forward to When Worlds Collide. Triple Mania, When Worlds Collide. WWE's been doing its thing with the AAA ownership and just everything that's with the production value. Speaking of value, I wanted to ask.
Yeah, the guy that raced by right now, he was like, I got to get home to go watch it.
I got to go back and watch me some AAA.
You said that, and dude raced down the street and said, I need to get home so I can watch it. So
Burn rubber.
You got him you got him running home. So
burn rubber does not mean warp speed, to quote the Lost Boys.
Yeah, exactly.
I digress.
Burn dust and eat my rubber.
Burn, baby, burn.
Burn. Disco.
I know you got that Christmas Vacation reference.
I will fucking
put Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. So So I will put that in this portion of the show right here. One other thing I had to ask, because we talked about the announcing last time. So last time it was Corey Graves and Conan. Your guys' thoughts on the 3-man booth this time of Corey Graves, Conan, and JBL?
I was watching in Spanish.
Okay.
I thought it was a little overkill. I don't think JBL was needed.
I mean, JBL has a knowledge of the product, but I think because Conan was so the last time, they needed to amplify it just a little bit.
I will say I love the fact that instead of destroying the Spanish announce table, they went after the American announce table.
That was great. That was a nice little
And
twist.
that comment, they're like,
great
we're in the wrong country. You're not supposed to be doing this.
So for you, Paul, I know you watch in Spanish, but what do you think of adding JBL to it?
I thought he added a unique touch to it. I mean, it was different. I mean, yeah, but you mentioned the one thing that they didn't need. They didn't necessarily need him, but it was good that they actually got him there. And maybe for the future, maybe Rey Mysterio will be out there, as opposed to JBL. But I mean, I get it. You're trying to tweak it. You're trying to find that one niche for the American audience. So hey, all the power to you. Although it would have been interesting had Eddie Guerrero still been alive.
Oh my God!
Try that one on a fucking on a desk.
So, with that being said, before we close this out, I do have one more question I want to ask. So, Carlos Silva recently did an interview, and they were talking about the media rights with TNA. I honestly think they're going to wind up on the CW or something going towards or after Bound for Glory. And Carlos Silva would not mind being on Wednesday nights to compete with AEW, which I know would make the sickos go absolutely nuts. And they've already started.
It already is. It's already started.
Oh, the discourse of just, they think they want to go against us. Fuck them. And just everything that goes, those bald assholes, and everything that went into that. So, y'all, do you think Carlos is are they gonna try to do TNA on Wednesdays? What do you think?
Also, there's another thing that you didn't mention.
What's that?
The latest rumor is that former owner of UFC, Lorenzo Fertitta, might be buying TNA.
Which that would be another interesting development.
I think, if anybody buys it, here's a guy super wealthy. You look what he did for the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
If he can do something like that for TNA, not discrediting AEW at all, but imagine having a third viable professional wrestling company.
I think the possibilities are endless.
As a fan, that's a win-win.
Absolutely, all around it is. And Paul, what do you think?
I think it would work. I think it would work for all three companies to have their own little time slot. I don't want them to leave the Thursday night time slot. I think that they can do a lot with it, given that that's really the only show, only day of the week that doesn't really have another show to go head to head with. And I think it could work for them. I honestly think that if they keep that time slot and do 8 p.m., Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, CW, or if they do want to do, I would say do live streaming on CW, on both on West and East. So that's just my view.
No, I'm for it, man. I think if it gives more viability and exposure to any company, that's a win-win for everybody all around. So I'm really curious to see what they do with the TNA relationship. If it's anything like we're seeing with AAA and everything from the wrestling sphere, so to speak, it's good for all the fans. And speaking of what's good is this show right here, the Weekly Review. So we will be back next week for some more talks. We do have next week is 2 shows that we're going to be touching upon.
Yeah.
AEW Forbidden Door, which already has 9 matches, which means Tony's going to add 9 more and make it 18. And we have...
No, he's going to add on 11 more, getting even 20.
Yeah, and then we have NXT Heatwave, which is going to, let's be honest, it's going to be highlighted by Obafemi and Javon Evans for the NXT World Championship. And
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. Jordan Grayson, Blake Monroe, Hank and Tank against Dark State for the NXT tag titles, JC Jane against Ash by Elegance and Masha Slamovich for the TNA Knockouts Championship, and so much more. So stay tuned for our thoughts and analysis going into that. And before we close this thing out, Meow, back to you two. Paul, where can we follow you on the social medias? The floor is yours.
Hi, my name is right there, the Dead Man of RWT. You can find my link tree, which will be down below. But if you don't want to look there, you could also go on my Twitter account and look at my profile. It's in my bio. It is right there. It'll lead you to all my social medias, and that's where you'll find me at. Of course, you could also find me on this fine show with these knuckleheads over here, because they're my partners in crime, my brothers from another mother, and my forever brothers. So, also, DC, my brother from another mother. Where can we find you at, sir?
Mike's going to put links down below. Pundit just recorded a good episode tonight. That should be coming. I think I should be doing the editing later today, as it's now almost 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, WWE, for, late show. But I digress. It's closing. I just say this: people, stop sleeping on Javon Evans. Like, dude's got fucking talent.
I'm right there with you. I think we all are. They're friggin' the young OG, baby.
And you on the other end, Mr. Michael Larkin, where can we find you?
So it's SM Show 1 and MCL92 on the Twitter, Larkin _92, MLarkinMB on Instagram, StephenMikeShow.com, LFCfights.com. S&M Network shows features the Weekly Review, Dan and I just wrapped up season 5 of Uncaged, where we talked about the impact of the 4 horsemen in the last episode. So season 6 will be starting soon. Deep into the Heart of Wrestling with myself, Robert Davis, and Nicola MacDonald. You also get the Stephen Mike Show, the LFC podcast, On the Mic with Mike, and so much more. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, do what you do, because we appreciate you. So for Paul Morales, for Daniel Crimmins, my name is Mike Larkin. For the weekly review, we'll see you in the next episode. We'll pay you!
But not Bill Goldberg.
Not Bill Goldberg. And, well, fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Nah.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
The past is gone. Now's the future.